to Elliott. Oh, the bicycle! The shot, Bedoya with a goal, 1-0 Union.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Union Insider presented by Bimbo Bakeries USA, where we talk all things Philly Union. I'm Marisa alongside Sebastian Latou and Sheanon Williams. Boy, is it fun to talk about the Philadelphia Union right now. The team is rolling as of late. Fellas, it's been 2 months since they lost a regular season match, and now they're third in the East. The numbers on both sides of the ball, very impressive. In their last 5 games, they've only conceded 1 goal, but they've also had 3 3-goal games. What impresses you more?
For me, what's impressed me at the beginning of the season so far is the goals. Especially at the beginning of the year, they weren't really clicking offensively. They've done a much better job of finding each other and connecting in front of goal, and that's led to some 3-goal games, which we were all having fun with.
Yeah, I'm with Sheanon. I think even if the team, like you said, just conceded 1 goal, the offense has been amazing. The defense give up a lot of chances, and I think Andre was a big reason why they just give up 1 goal during those games. So the offense, I think, like really connecting and being fun to watch, kind of like what we were used to last year, was very, very nice.
So still much to be desired for you on the defensive end?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we saw, like, I think since they play with the 3 in the back, they give up a little bit more chances. Andre have been, doing a lot of save, and there's some holes. Of course, it takes time to kind of like get back into being very good defensively and covering each other. And I think Montreal, for example, talking about the last game, got a bit too many chances in my part, especially when you play at home.
Back in March, the Union fell to a winless CF Montreal at Olympic Stadium after what can only be categorized as a disappointing performance. Facing that Montreal team this weekend at Subaru Park, the club had one thing on its mind: vengeance. Here's how it all went down in Chester.
Philadelphia hitting that stride, unbeaten in their last 8 matches, rounding into form. Jim Curtin has his players in rhythm, in form, and at home today.
Another big one at home, okay? We got a great night in terms of the temperature, right, to run, okay? It's going to be a night now where we don't even think about fitness, we don't think about being fatigued, we don't think about being tired, okay? We all know they were lucky in Montreal, okay? We owe them. We owe them one. We know that wasn't us at our max. When we play at our max in this building, right, we can punish teams. Okay? Everybody now has to take this and be ruthless. The best teams in the world now get up for every game. We don't underestimate teams because that's when you get yourself in trouble. So everybody in the room plays at their max. Go till you can't go anymore. We have a great bench tonight. Everybody's fully committed for the 90 minutes.
All right, boys, for your Marisa, take it set to maximum intensity. With maximum intensity, with the energy, everything that we take care of itself. This is our home. We continue to protect it. Anything but 3 points. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be pretty every time. We just need to win the game. Keep moving up the table. Come on, let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Real outside the area will find Julian Carranza at the tip of the 18. Dashes inside with us. Right, tries to go right and goal and scores! Julian Carranza gets the scoring started for the Union at home. And it's 1-0. The boys in blue.
8 goals for number 9, and Philadelphia Union inside 12 minutes lead by 1-0.
Right to Nate Harry, who'll dummy that forward over to Carranza inside the area. Turns it on Torkelson, almost a run and goal, and the rebound good from Michael Lua! Went off of Pantelis, and Michael Lua snaps goalless in 8 games across all competitions. There's number 6 for Lua, and it's 2-0 Union. Abdi playing this forward over to Ibrahim inside the penalty area, back to left line, and out comes Andre Blake, who's a brick wall and steers it aside. The sons of Ben fans chanting Union in unison. Wagner with his 2-step approach, he bowls this forward to the back post, looking for Elliott. It's headed down, cleared away by Campbell. Oh, it's cleared off the line out of the back from Montreal. Strong play by Waterman to the back post to deny Elliott and company. Goes to the top of the D. Here's Nate Harry off of a hop stop by Pantelis about belly high after that thrashing hit from young Nate Harry.
Showed a little bit more at forward than I thought he might.
Oh, that's going to be a booking there as Jose Martinez just pushed down Miljevich after Miljevich just held the right leg of Jose. Strength 2-0 Philadelphia Union. Leon Flock 25 yards from goal. Carranza toe pokes it forward to Gazak, back to Carranza. Right at goal, deflects off of 1. Past Pantelis and in!
Philadelphia Union score their 3rd. Comfort and composure at its peak. Amongst a sea of celebration, Philadelphia lead by 3-0.
tonight amid a sold-out crowd in Chester. The Union take it 3-0 over CF Montreal thanks to the brace by Carranza and another tally by Ua. They go unbeaten in 9 league games. Philadelphia Union take it 3-0 over CF Montreal.
If the first meeting between the Union and Montreal fell short of expectations for the Union, how indicative was this result in regards to what the Union are actually capable of?
I mean, you see really like a great connection in front first, the way they scored the goal, I think it was great. A lot of positive in this game. I think the pressing was very good, to really win the ball right away in the half of the opponent. I think defensively they were serious, because when you play a team like Montreal, we are not going to say they play the best team. I think a lot of guys were at home, preparing for their Canadian championship. But mentally, I think for the guys to come home and believe it's going to be too easy to win this game. I don't think they were thinking that way. They were really serious, play at their own level, and issue on the field, and they score a great goal. And it could have been 5 or 6-0, but I think 3 was a good result for the team. And compared to the games they did against Charlotte, it was serious as well. But 2 games at home in a week, 6 points, I think is what we wanted from the team.
Was this the most convincing win you've seen recently from the Union?
I'm not going to say that it was most convincing. They still had some chances, like Seba gave up, like Seba talked about, that they gave up, and they need to do a better job of making sure that they don't rely on Andre to win them games and to keep them in games. But I think from an offensive standpoint, it definitely was. They kicked on really early into the game, scored in the first 15 minutes, got the crowd behind them, and I think that that's going to be huge, especially at home.
Julian Carranza had a brace. That's his 4th multi-goal game of the season. What makes him so unstoppable right now? I
mean, he's very confident. I think he's always at the right place at the right time. He got a good spot. I think good connection with Gazdag, with Ura. The 3 really worked very well together. So it's great to see. It's great to see the confidence. We really hope he keep scoring every game. If he does, I'm not sure if we're still going to see him a lot in the Union jersey. But it's very good for him, and he's very happy to see, like you see the pleasure he has when he plays and he scores the goal. So hopefully he keeps scoring and he become the best scorer in this league.
Does the defense start to take more notice, opponent defense, of what Carranza's doing to try to break him down a little bit more now? It's really tough, especially with the other guys that he has around them. Ua scored a goal over the weekend. Gazdag has had some good performances over this stretch. So to key on one guy is why they have 3 of them up top, so that it's hard to just be specific on one. So they're doing a good job of spreading out the goals and doing a good job to not only just rely on one player to win them games and to score goals. A pick your poison for sure up top for the Union. What's the building block to build off of this Montreal game with?
I think, stay serious now. You're going away, you're going to San Jose. It's going to be like a big trip for them. So make sure, I think they are serious defensively, but if they really play the same way offensively, I don't think why they will not score 1 or 2 goals over there. So I think just doing the same things they are doing right now, because I think everybody is very confident. It's time now for our first team report presented by Green Mountain Energy. The Union will be back on the road this weekend, and they have a long trip ahead of them as they travel to San Jose to take on the Earthquakes. Philly is unbeaten in their last 5 meetings against San Jose, but it's never easy being that far from home. Here's what head coach Jim Curtin had to say about the long trip ahead of the club this weekend.
I thought a really good performance from the guys. In a good run of form now. We got through what on paper looked like the toughest stretch of our season at 6-0-1. So it's a full credit to the players, playing very well in our transitions. I think doing a good job now defensively as a team, keeping some clean sheets, and overall a lot of guys in good form. I think Julian Carranza has really raised his level. San Jose's playing very well, a team that presents a lot of problems. Lucci's done a great job with their group. It starts with Abobasi up top, and obviously Espinoza, a player that I've loved for several years now. And obviously, the season that they had last year was not their best, but you still see his quality in everything that he does. And now this season, you're seeing that come out quite a bit. So again, it's a really strong team, tough opponent, and they've been unbeaten at home. A really good team in their building. So we'll have to navigate the travel, all those things, and go on the road where we've been decent this year, but know that we'll have to be almost perfect to take points back to Philly.
Although the Union are 2-1-1 all-time at PayPal Park, a road trip is never easy, especially when that road is about 3,000 miles long. What exactly goes into getting yourself mentally and physically ready for such a long road trip?
I mean, luckily now they have the charter flights, so which is much easier, to kind of lay back in a plane. You don't have to be squeezed between two people. So I think it's much easier for them to get ready physically. But it's just important, I think, for me the most is the time difference. You have 3 hours. You are going to go to the West Coast, wake up early. The game is late, so it's kind of 10:30 kickoff for them. So just make sure they got enough rest and they don't feel too tired, attacking the second half. But other than that, I think everybody has a full week of rest, so they should be ready for this game.
A full week definitely does the body good heading into a long road trip. Let's paint a picture here. Let's say we walked into the Union's prep office. We see their bulletin board with everything that they're planning for San Jose. What has to be the #1 objective on that scouting report?
Continue their hot form, especially in front of the goal. They've been really good at scoring goals, no matter whether they're soaking up pressure or putting the pressure on somebody else. They've been able to do it in a multiple of ways, so they need to continue to do that. They need to continue to stay on this hot form while they can. We know that the season goes in ebbs and flows, and they need to do a good job of riding this high right now.
What is the biggest threat that San Jose poses for them?
I mean, I think San Jose last year was a very, very bad team. They changed their coach with Luchi Gonzalez, who come from FC Dallas. He really brings a good formation, very serious defensively. It's not maybe the best team in the league with the best player. I don't think they have a big roster, but they are very serious defensively. You can see the 4-3-3 is playing. I think the back 7 really defend very well together. They are close, so they are very hard to kind of find a way to move them and kind of score the goal against them. It's a lot of games with just 1 goal between them. They have Espinoza and Mbobise, who are pretty hot, for them, the best 2 scorers of this team. So they need to be careful, but I think, like Sheanon said, if they play in their rhythm they are right now, I think it should be a win for the Union.
For me, the Union need to do a good job of controlling that front 3. We know about Espinoza and Mbobise. They also could be getting Cowell back, which will be a big lift for them. He's been the leading goal scorer at the U20s for the U.S., so the front 3 need to be dangerous for San Jose, and the Union need to do a good job of controlling those front 3, making sure that they are staying behind them, clearing out crosses, and making sure that they do the things that they need to do to get a 0 in this game.
And that's going to do it for this week's First Team Report. We're stepping away for a bit, but first, let's take a look at This Week in Union History presented by Premier Orthopedics. This week in 2019, the Union overcame a 2-0 deficit against the New York Red Bulls, scoring 3 second-half goals to propel them to a 3-2 victory at Subaru Park. This included back-to-back goals by Montero and Elsinho in the 60th and 61st minute, respectively. We're back with Throwback Thursday presented by United Concordia. The last time the Union played in San Jose was on September 25th of the same 2019 season, where they defeated the Earthquakes 2-1. Both Union goals in that one came just 6 minutes apart, with Alejandro Bedoya scoring in the 70th minute and Kacper Shabilko in the 76th. Hey everyone, welcome back to Union Insider. I'm Marisa, that's Seba, that is Sheanon, and it's time now for Keys to the Game presented by Subaru. The Union are taking on San Jose this weekend, a team that is unbeaten in their last 3 matches and unbeaten at home. So it's going to be tough to bring back 3 points. How do they do it?
I think I'm going to go with a defensive key for them. I think they need to eliminate the crosses and the set pieces. You have like a guy like Espinoza, who is very good on the right side, taking guys on 1v1 and then delivering broad crease to Mbobise, who is very good to put himself always between the center backs, always find a spot, very good in the air, score few goals already with his head this year. So he's a big target for them. So if they can really always put pressure on somebody like Espinoza or Kay Cowell on the side, or even their left back and right back, who are not shy and try to bring some offense to their team, I think the team will be in a good shape. But more crosses in the box, I think more dangerous for the Union. I know, we could be with 3, with Glesnes, Elliott, and Lowe playing, who are, very good in the air, but you don't want to risk it. So I will say, don't give, too many cheap free kicks, too many corners, and make sure that we are here for a battle in the air, because Mbobise will be here always to try to get those balls and put it in a goal.
So the Union need to be aware of the aerial presence by San Jose. What stands out to you?
For me, it's going to be to look to hit San Jose on the counterattack. I think the Union have finally gotten their front 3 clicking, and if they can get to the ball quickly, especially get the ball into Gazdag and into those front two as well, then they can look to move off of that. They need to do a good job of completing that first pass if it's not on to play forward right away, and then look to play off that. That's when they're at their best. We know that they'll probably soak up some pressure on the road. They need to do a good job of one, staying disciplined in front of their own goal, and then looking to hit San Jose on the counter as they start to send numbers forward. I think that will be the key to the Union having a successful game this game.
Now let's take a look at some action from match day 13 in MLS Around the League presented by Torque. Thanks to this goal by Luciano Acosta in the 83rd minute, FC Cincinnati remained unbeaten at home as they defeated Chicago Fire by a score of 1-0. And finally, Hani Mukhtar was at it again, this time scoring in the 77th minute to break a 1-1 tie as Nashville went on to beat FC Dallas on the road 2-1. Up next, an important piece to the midfield puzzle gets the spotlight in this week's player profile. We discuss the new contract extension for El Brujo, Jose Martinez. Union Insider, presented by Bimbo Bakeries USA, returns after this. Time for this week's Chick-fil-A Nugget of the Week. In their last 20 home matches, the Union have outscored opponents by a whopping 50 goals, 61-11. This is the largest goal differential in a 20-game home match span in league history. Welcome back to Union Insider, presented by Bimbo Bakeries USA. I'm Marisa Pilla. It's time now for this week's player profile presented by Subaru. The club announced on June 1st that they signed midfielder Jose Martinez to a contract extension that runs through the 2025 season with an option for 2026. What effect does Martinez's future have on Philly going forward?
I mean, that's huge. I think having him, with the team for a couple of more seasons really settles the midfielder, which is a very, very important part on the field. And you can see that if he stays, it means that he wants to be here, which is great to know, for the team and the Union fan to have Jose, really be involved in this team and keep, playing at the level he's doing. I think he has been, really tremendous. I think all the success of the team has been because of a big part of his job in the midfield, playing a diamond, how much cover ground he's doing. But now, I think we can see a bit more different aspect of his game when you play with 2 number 6. He loves to go forward, so maybe we'll see him score his first goal for the team very soon. I hope so for him, but I think it's a very good news for the Union and the fans.
You both are Philly transplants. You both played in this market. You now live in this market. You know how Philly sports fans can feel towards their athletes. And we kind of like a certain type of player. How does Martinez fit into the role of a Philly athlete?
He's perfect. For me, he's the grit of the team. He's the heart of the team, and he makes them tick. You know that when he's on the field that he's going to mix it up with the other team. And I'm sure everybody hates to play against him. I'm sure I would have hated to play against him. So he does a good job of playing his role, and the Philly fans love him for that. So he's a great character to have in your team, and somebody that is going to protect your goal with everything he has. Like you see him do game in, game out. He's been such a big part of this Philly Union defense and how stout they've been over these last couple of years.
And he's quite a good dancer. I think we all can tell. All his moves on social media. I mean, I think he brings some good energy into the team.
So someone that's just a pain to play against, but I'm assuming as a teammate, you almost love to have somebody with that personality.
I mean, yes, especially when you are in a game. Sometimes it's tough. You need someone, like a spark to kind of bring the little energy. Sometimes you are missing, and you always see him, kind of being like a fight dog. Who can really kind of like Sheanon said, make a little foul here and talk to the other guys. So everybody get together, rally as a group. And I think he's always the guy who starts those things. And it's great to have him, especially when you play at home too. Brings the fan together. You see him, make a big tackle or something like that. It's great to have. And it's what he brings to this team.
We're stepping away one more time, but when we come back, Seba and Sheanon will tell you who they are keeping an eye on this Saturday against San Jose. We're wrapping up this edition of Union Insider on the other side. Starting this year, every Union League match is on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Sign up today to make sure you don't miss a minute of the action. You can also check out the live Whip Around show MLS 360, or if you missed out on the live, you can relive every moment with full match replays. Get this, if you're a T-Mobile subscriber, you get this whole year of Season Pass content free of charge. Just about to wrap things up on this week's edition of Union Insider presented by Bimbo Bakeries USA. And as always, we end things with our AllState players to watch. Both Seba and Sheanon have selected a player to watch for their upcoming match against San Jose. Seba?
I'm going with Jack Elliott. I think, it's going to be very important to have all of his possession of his technique and tactically how he's going to deal with Mbobise, in the box. I think it's very important to have him very good in the air. And I think, in the same time, the Union this year didn't score any goal on set pieces, and we saw him scoring 2 goals in the final against LAFC. We need to have one defender, scoring goals, and I think he could do it in San Jose. So I picked Jack Elliott. I think he has been very, very good all the past games. All the goals, they didn't score against the Union is a big part because of Jack Elliott. So I hope he do another great game. He take really a good opportunity to have Mbobise not scoring goals this game, and at the same time, he's scoring a goal for the team and gives the victory.
Get it done on both ends of the field. And also, fun fact, Jack Elliott played forward growing up, so that's where he gets his finishing skills. Sheanon?
For me, I'm going to go with Michael Ura. We saw him score in the last game against Montreal. I'd like to see him score against somebody that isn't a Canadian team, so hopefully he can get that done in San Jose. I'd also like to see him score in multiple games. We know he's a bit of a streaky scorer, so can he start to put some consistent games together and add goals to his tally?
Your choice might be good luck because you picked Carranza last week, so snaps for Sheanon because Carranza had a brace. Yeah, snaps for Sheanon.
I'm picking
you
defender.
You get no praise.
I mean, listen, Flack have been amazing. Like, you see him in Charlotte, you see him, like no goals, running everywhere. He could score, but he just want to give the ball to Carranza.
It's not as flashy as a brace. We have to admit that, right?
Okay,
it's just not.
Next week I pick a forward.
Okay.
Fair
Just
enough.
jumping on the bandwagon.
I am.
Well, that's going to do it for us. Union traveled to San Jose this weekend for a late kickoff, 10:30 p.m. kick on Apple TV. We will be back here next Thursday to talk all about it. Sheanon will be alongside Dave Leno for the radio call on 97.5 The Fanatic. For Seba, Sheanon, and our entire crew, I'm Marisa Pilla. Enjoy your weekend, and thanks for watching.